On December 29, 2024, Jeju Air Flight 2216 took off from Bangkok, destined for Muan International Airport in South Korea. The Boeing 737-800, a familiar sight in the skies, carried 175 passengers and 4 crew members. The flight was routine, nothing out of the ordinary. As the aircraft approached Muan, the first hint of trouble emerged. At approximately 8:57:50 a.m. local time, air traffic control issued a warning about bird activity in the vicinity of the airport. This information was relayed to the pilots of Flight 2216. Less than a minute later, the unthinkable happened. The aircraft, still miles above the ground, suffered a catastrophic bird strike. Both engines, their powerful fans ingesting multiple birds, lost power. The plane, now a glider, began to lose altitude rapidly. Bird strikes, while relatively common, rarely result in such catastrophic consequences. Modern jet engines are designed to withstand the impact of a single bird, even a large one. However, the ingestion of multiple birds, especially in close succession, can overwhelm even the most robust engine. In the case of Flight 2216, the impact was severe enough to cause immediate and complete engine failure in both engines. The pilots, faced with a terrifying situation, immediately declared a Mayday. They desperately tried to restart the engines, but their efforts proved futile. The aircraft, now in a steep descent, was losing altitude rapidly. The pilots, fighting to maintain control, initiated a maneuver known as a go-around. This typically involves aborting a landing and climbing back to a safe altitude. However, with no engine power, the maneuver was doomed from the start. The pilots, their training kicking in, fought desperately to control the crippled aircraft. They attempted to guide the plane towards the runway, hoping to make an emergency landing. However, with no power and rapidly diminishing altitude, their options were limited. The aircraft, its wings no longer able to generate lift, began to stall. It descended rapidly, its trajectory taking it perilously close to the airport perimeter. The pilots, realizing the gravity of the situation, continued to struggle for control. The plane, its descent now uncontrollable, crashed into a concrete embankment just short of the runway. The impact, occurring at high speed, was catastrophic. The aircraft, its fuselage torn apart, burst into flames. The crash of Jeju Air Flight 2216 sent shockwaves throughout South Korea. Emergency responders rushed to the scene, but the wreckage painted a grim picture. Of the 179 souls on board, only 2 crew members seated in the tail section survived. The investigation, led by South Korean authorities, focused on the circumstances leading to the crash. Bird remains found in the engines confirmed the initial assessment of a bird strike. However, questions remained about the role of the embankment in exacerbating the severity of the crash. The preliminary report, released while the investigation was still ongoing, called for urgent improvements in bird strike prevention and airport safety. The full report, expected to provide a more detailed analysis of the crash and its causes, is eagerly anticipated. The tragedy of Jeju Air Flight 2216 serves as a stark reminder of the ever-present risks inherent in aviation and the importance of constant vigilance in mitigating those risks.